Sir, now the next concept what I am ready to start at the part of JShell, how you can set jar files in the JShell. Regarding sometimes inside jar file I may use class, I may use methods. While executing those methods, I may require some third party jar files. Regarding how you can set jar files, how you can make jar files available to the JShell. Sir, very simple. There are multiple ways are there to set that part I will discuss. Here, suppose assume I have Oracle database is there, sir. Assume that I have Oracle database is there. In the Oracle database, sir, employees table is there. Assume employees table is there, sir. I want to write a method to bring employees data and display to the console. This is about my requirement, right? I want to write a method to bring employees data and display to the console. This is about my requirement. How you can write? Very simple. Observe the code first. Here public void get emp info throws exception. Sir, if anywhere any possibilities of raising an exception, okay, my JVM is going to take care like this. First what we have to do, establish connection between Java code and the database. Regarding, sir, this is my Java program. From Java, if you want to connect with the database, first step, create connection object. Once a connection object is ready, to send your SQL query, then you require statement object. Sir, once you execute your query, then you will get a result set. From the result set, you can access the data. Do you know JDBC coding? Sir, you people should aware this. The people who don't know, just get the basic idea. That's all. Beyond that, we are not talking about JDBC, right? So to execute, sir, to bring data from the database, to capture data from the database, I want to write a Java code. Observe, first step, create a connection object. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Okay, here I have to provide JDBC URL, JDBC :Oracle :thin @localhost 1521:exe. Okay, this total thing is JDBC URL, comma username Scott, okay, comma password tiger. Username Scott, password tiger, like this, right? So now I got connection object. Connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection, JDBC :Oracle :thin and so on. Sir, I got connection object, right? It's a clear. Now my requirement is, observe very, very carefully about this one, sir. Sir, to send our SQL query to the database, sir, create a statement object. Sir, statement st is equal to con dot create statement. Statement st is equal to con dot create statement. Like next, sir, once a statement is ready, you can send your SQL query to the database. What is the ways how you can send SQL query? Sir, st dot execute query. Which query you require to execute, sir? Very simple. Select star from employees. Like once you executed this query, now what you are going to get? Result set RS. So result set contain all employees data. Okay, remember. Now what I have to take? While RS dot next. Sir, if the next record is available, can you please print system.out.println? Sir, employees data contain 4 columns are available. What is the first column, sir? Employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee address. Like Total how many columns are there, sir? 4 columns are available. Employee number, employee name, employee number, employee name, employee salary, and then employee address. Total 4 columns are available, right? Now what I'm taking, system.out.println, sir, rs dot get int of 1, because sir employee number is always int type, okay, plus a dot rs dot get a string of 2, sir, employee name, sir, plus dot rs dot get sir float of 3, sir, because employee salary is a float type or double type you can take, plus rs dot get a string of 4, employee address, right? Okay, that's all. This is at last conduct close, like this you can take. So this is the code we have, a method I have. Assume that in the JShell it is one coding snippet. Assume it is one coding snippet. But to work this, compulsory import java.sql.star must be required, because all these things are available inside java.sql package. That's why compulsory you should do that. Now what I want to do, I will write these things inside a file. By using open command, I will make these things are available to the JShell. Are you getting? And I'm sure in my database already employees table is already there, sir. Now take a bit very special care whether this code is going to work or not. Think a bit very carefully, sir, because to run Java code which is going to connect with the database, compulsory we require to search some jar files. Some jar file. If it is the Oracle, OJDBC6.jar must be required. If you are going to use Oracle 11G, the people who are coming from JDBC background, you can able to understand my words very easily, right? Sir, how you can make OJDBC6.jar available to the JShell? That part we are going to discuss with this JDBC code. Remember that, sir. Sir, what I want to do, write these two things inside one file. Okay, let me consider, sir. Observe a bit very carefully, sir. I wrote already, don't worry, just I wrote. Sir, first one, import java.sql.star. Same, whatever I explained on the board, can you please cross check? Import public void get info, throws exception, connection call is equal to driver manager.get connection, statement st, result set, just anyway for printing purpose to SOP statements also I used for column headers, while rs.next, print 4 columns data and then con.close. Close. That's all. This is the code where I saved, sir. If you observe that, if you observe where I saved, sir, if you observe the file name, can you please have a look once? db.jsh. Where I saved, sir? db.jsh. This is the name what I used, sir. Observe a bit carefully, sir. What file name I used? Now you can able to see db.jsh. This is the file name I used, which is there in my current working directory only. Let me open JShell, sir. Of course, command prompt. Now listen very carefully, sir, what I am doing. Durga classes, because my file is available, in that location. Okay, now let me start JShell-v, sir. Okay, just I am ready to, I started JShell /list. What are various active snippets are there? Nothing, sir. No active snippet. Now what I have to do? Now what's my requirement is /open db.jsh. I'm taking db.jsh. Now observe, loaded, sir. Loaded from db.jsh. Where is the proof for that? /list. Have you observed, right? 2 coding snippets got loaded. What is the first one, sir? Import java.sql.star. What is the second one, sir? Public void get emp info, like this, right? Now let me call this function. I want to call this function, but make sure in my Oracle database is the employee table is already available or not. Yes, 1 minute, sir. Let me open my Oracle database. Yes, connect. Okay, have a look once. Connect. What is the username? Scott/Tiger. Connected, sir. Now select star from employees. Okay, like this. Sir, in the employees table, have you observed the data? Four rows are available. I mean 4 rows are available, sir. 100 Durga, 1000 Hyderabad. So first employee data, employee number, employee name, employee salary and employee address. Same, sir, Sunny, Bunny, Chinny, like this is the data whatever there in the employees table. Now from the J shell, already this method is there to bring employees data. Let me execute that method. What is the method name? Get emp info. Sir, get emp info. I'm taking, sir. If I can call get emp info, what will happen, sir? This Java code communicating with the database and trying to bring the data. Can you please have a look once? Can you please have a look once? What is the exception by default we are getting? Hey, java.sql.sql exception through no suitable driver found for JDBC : Oracle : thin : @localhost 1521 .exe. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand? What is the problem we got, sir? SQL exception. Because to run this code, compulsory some jar file must be required. ojdbc.ojdbc6.jar. Remember this one. ojdbc6.jar. This jar file must be required, sir. But where is the jar file? Where is this jar file? Is it a problem or not? Yes, we require to make this jar file available to the J shell. Then only this program is going to run. Clear for all of you, right? So what is our topic name? Using jar files in the J shell. How you can able to use jar file? Very simple, sir. I will make it available to the J shell. There are multiple ways are available. There are total 3 ways, right? One way, first way, sir. You can set a class path environment variable. If you set class path environment variable, automatically jar file by default available to the class path. Remember that. So automatically available to the J shell. Set environment variable class path. You know, from your childhood onwards, you set a class path multiple times. Okay. Right click, computer, right click, next advanced system properties, environment variable class path, like you can able to add one way. From command prompt, you can able to set. That is the second way. Sir, from the J shell itself, you can able to set. Sir, what I will do is, from the J shell, how you can able to set, or from the, sir, command prompt, how you can able to set. Suppose you are in the D colon. Observe that. You are in which location, sir? D colon Durga classes. Okay. From here, I want to open J shell. While open J shell, can you please make available class path also? Like what I have to take? J shell -v. This is our command to start J shell. Next, while starting this J shell, can you please make a jar file available? How you can able to set? Can you please observe? -. Please observe that carefully, sir. Class path, class path, like this, class path, class path. Next, what is the location? Maybe C colon program files somewhere. ojdbc 6.jar is there. That's all. Sir, now J shell. Can you please start J shell? But while starting this J shell, make sure this jar file available in the class path. Have you observed, right? What is the command we require to use? Can you please tell? J shell -v class path, like this. Compulsory we require to use this command. If you are going to use this command, now, sir, jar file available to the J shell. Now you are not going to get SQL exception. Clear, right? How you can able to do that? Let me do here. Let me exit my J shell. Let me exit the J shell. Okay, J shell got exited. Remember. Now here what is the command I require to use? J shell -v class path class path I'm taking. Next, what is the location? Yes, that location where this jar file is available already I saved, sir. Can you please observe the location? Please observe the location. C colon, Oracle exe, app, Oracle product 11.0 server, JDBC lib, OJDBC 6.jar. Sir, the people who learned already JDBC, you people aware. Sir, this is the location. Now, let me just copy this location. Just let me copy this location, sir. Paste. Okay. Now, that's all. JShell is going to start. JShell already started. Sir, JShell already started. Even this jar file is also available. Now, let me load, sir, my code snippets from db.jsh. db.jsh. Already code snippets are there. Okay. Now, let me load the db.jsh. Automatically loaded. Let me cross check whether loaded or not. Yes, import is there. Second one, get employee info is also available, like this, right? Now, let me call get emp info. Regarding get emp info, like now, observe that if the data is coming or not. Yes. So, because we already set jar file. How you can able to set the jar file, sir? JShell-v while opening JShell only -- class path like we require to use. I hope everyone can able to understand, right? How you can able to set JShell? How you can able to set a jar file in the JShell is like this. Clear? So is it possible to add to the JShell or not? Yes, why not? We require to use -- class path option. Sometimes you may ask, sir, JShell already started. After starting the JShell, I want to set a jar file. Are you getting? Not at the beginning of JShell startup. JShell already started. I didn't set any class path. After starting the JShell, I want to set the class path. Do you have any option is there or not? Yes, there is one option is there. What is that option is? Sir, once JShell already started, now you are in the JShell console. Sir, very simple. /env. What is the command name? Please respond. What is the command name? /env. env means what? Environment. Can you please set environment? /env class path class path. Now jar file location you have to specify. Are you getting? Jar file location you have to specify like this. Jar file location. If you are going to set, sir, from the JShell console itself, you are going to set the class path. Are you getting? So how to set a class path to the JShell? There are two ways. From normal command prompt with the JShell command. Next, from JShell command prompt, what we require to use? /env. Yes, this is possible, right? Sir, let me show this approach also so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? Observe a bit carefully what I am doing. Sir, let me close this command prompt. I closed the command prompt, sir. Now, fresh command prompt I am trying to open. Let me go to Durga classes. Okay. Now, just a normal open JShell -v. Just open JShell -v. Just I open JShell, sir. Okay. Now, let me, sir, check list. Nothing is available. Can you please, sir, open? Can you please load code snippets from db.jsh? Yes, already loaded. Can you please cross check which things are loaded? Oh, two things got loaded. Get emp info. What you can ask? Get emp info. Have you observed? I didn't set any jar file. Then automatically same exception by default you are getting. Now we didn't set any class path, but still we log in the JShell. Now you are from JShell console. From the JShell console, how you can able to set sir class path? Very simple. Have a look once. Please guide. What is the command? What is the command we require to use? Slash env. Are you getting? What is the command? Slash env hyphen class path. Hyphen class path. Sir, now what is the class path? What is the class path? I saved already somewhere. Okay, this is the location. Hyphen class path. Let me specify. Are you getting? Let me specify that. Yes, setting new options and restoring the value. Have you observed? Because I set and already I called right. Okay, like if you want get EMP info, like this I'm asking. Can you please tell? Can you please tell? Happily. Because I made already method call. That's why this data is coming. That's why this data is coming once you set environment variable, right? Sir, let me call again. Let me call again. Yes, like this. Perfectly it's going to work, sir. Sir, where is the proof? You are showing previous output only. I will do one thing. From the Oracle console, let me insert one more data. Insert into employees. Insert into employees. Value was 500. Name of the employee is Winnie. I'm taking. Name of the employee Winnie. Next, sir, 5,000 is the employee salary. And the location is Chennai. I'm taking, sir. Location is Chennai. I'm taking. Now, can you please observe that a bit very carefully, sir? Very carefully about this command. Yes, is it correct or not? Insert into employees values like this. Yes, one row created. Are you getting? One row created, but compulsory we require to use commit. Compulsory we require to use commit, right? Are you getting? Commit got completed. Okay. Now let me open JShell. Let me execute this code. Sir, compulsory, that data by default will be available. That data should come or not? Yes. Can you please observe? 500, Winnie is also going to come. Clear? Any doubt? Sir, make sure in how many ways we can able to set. jar file available in the JShell. 2 ways. From the normal command prompt, use sir hyphen class path with the JShell command only, or from the JShell console, use slash env class path and the jar files location. You can able to do that. But make sure even if you are not doing these things, no problem. If you set the class path explicitly, then happily this program is going to work. Let me check, sir, that option also, so that you can feel more comfortable with all possible options. I will do one thing. Yeah. Now observe that, sir, in my system, what is the current class path I want to check? In my system, what is the current class path? My computer, right click, properties, advanced system settings, next environment variables. Sir, already class path is there. If you observe that, already class path environment variable is there in my system. Sir, what is the current value? Edit. Let me copy, sir. Let me copy here. Yes, this is the class path what we have in my system. Sir, do you know it is Tomcat related class path? This one is MySQL related class path. This one is Selenium related class path, because I am handling Selenium sessions also, right? Okay. Now, but Oracle related class path is not there. That's why the problem is coming. What I want to do is, sir, already Oracle related OJDBC 6.jar file location already you have. Now, sir, let me add at the beginning. Are you getting? I added at the beginning, sir. Have you observed? I added at the beginning. Now, sir, do you know, just let me, sir, remove and let me add. Okay. Next, okay, like that. That's all. Sir, now, sir, class path already updated. Let me cross check. Is it really updated or not? Let me go to my current working directory and let me use the command. Sir, here echo percentage class path. Okay, percentage class path like this, right? Now observe, sir, this is the class path currently in my system. What is that, sir? C:, Oracle, sir, product, server, OJDBC 6.jar already there in the class path. Let me open JShell. JShell-v. Yes. JShell-v. JShell is going to start. Let me list any snippets are there. Nothing. Now, can you please save the snippets from db.jsh? Yes, already saved db.jsh. Sir, let me cross check. Now, sir, get emp info came. Next and after that, import statements also came. Now what I want to take, get emp info, like this I'm calling, sir. Then automatically what is the output by default you are getting? Yes, that's all. I didn't set any class path explicitly from the JShell or from the command prompt. Just in the system environment variable, I set the class path. Are you getting? So total, how many ways are there to make jar files available to the JShell? Very simple. 3 ways are there. What is the first way? Environment variable class path. Are you getting? What is the first way, sir? Environment variable class path if you set. First way. Second way, sir, from the command prompt while opening JShell. From the command prompt while opening JShell, you can use ---- class path option and your required jar file location you can provide. Sir, this is the second way. Third one, sir, from JShell command itself, from JShell console itself, you have to use a /env class path location of the jar file you can provide. I hope everyone can able to understand, right? These are 3 possible ways to make the jar file available to the JShell. Clear with the example, right? Sir, the people who don't know about JDBC, don't worry, sir. Yes, just aware only one point. Jar files, we can make it available in the JShell. JShell can able to work even with the jar files also. Okay? Let me show the material, sir, so that you people can feel more comfortable. Observe that. Using jar files in the JShell. Okay, it is very easy to use external jar files in the JShell. Okay, we can either from the command prompt or from the JShell itself. Sir, if you want from the command prompt, okay, from the command prompt, what is the command we require to use? Okay, sir, this is the code whatever we have already. Sir, JDBC, how to create table, how to insert, how to create table, how to insert data. Even that code also safe side I kept because some people may not aware Oracle, right? Okay, now adding jar file to the JShell from the JShell itself. Adding jar files, sir, from the JShell itself. This is the possibility, right? Are you getting? Sir, /env command. Now internally, JShell will use environment variable class path if we are not setting class path explicitly. Remember, these are various possible ways are there to set jar file, to make jar file available to the JShell. Okay, that's all, friends. Thank you. Sir, in the last videos we covered how you can make jar file available in the JShell. Have you remembered, right? How you can set jar file, how you can set class path to make jar files available in the JShell, we covered, right? Sir, now I want to explain JShell startup snippets. Are you getting? I want to talk about JShell startup snippets. Sir, is it possible to keep my own snippets as JShell startup snippets? Sir, these things I require to explain. But before that, just you people should be aware, at the time of JShell execution, at the time of JShell startup, some snippets will be executed automatically. Those snippets are by default considered as what? JShell startup snippets. Are you able to understand, right? So JShell startup snippets, the snippets which are executed automatically at the time of JShell startup, these snippets are by default considered as what? JShell startup snippets. So now I want to define my own snippets as JShell startup snippets, right? Is it possible to customize or not? That's what you should aware. Have you observed how to customize JShell startup snippets? Are you getting? I want to customize JShell startup. How you can able to do that? First, what is the default startup snippets? I will explain so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? Sir, if you launch JShell console, okay, if you are in the JShell console, just you can ask /list -start. Regarding slash list hyphen start. Can you please list out all startup snippets? All startup snippets like this. By default, almost around several import statements by default available. Several packages, almost 10 to 13 available, right? Okay, what these I will explain. Have a look once. Sir. Let me open. Okay, sir, here JShell I don't want, sir. Just let me close this one. Let me open, sir, fresh command prompt. Observe that very carefully. Here, just what I want to take here, let me log into the JShell. Regarding, let me log into the JShell. JShell-v. Okay, now let me cross check slash list. No active snippets, but slash list hyphen start. Regarding hyphen start, if I can ask hyphen start, do you know these 10 snippets? These 10 snippets are startup snippets. At the time of JShell, automatically these startup snippets by default executed. That's why these packages by default available, right? So if you want to use any class inside IO package, any class inside math package, any class inside util package, we are not required to write import statement, because import statement already executed at the time of JShell startup. That's why if I can ask array list L is equal to new array list. If I can ask array list L is equal to new array list, we never going to get any error. Regarding, you never going to get any error even you are not writing import statement, because import java.util.star already executed at the time of JShell startup. Clear for all of you, right? So this is nothing but JShell. Have you observed JShell startup snippets, right? Sir, I don't want these package statements. My requirement is I want my own snippets as startup snippets. Sir, these bloody import statements I don't want. Okay, I have some 3 or 4 snippets are there. Can you please make those things startup snippets, right? Yes, how you able to do that? What you can do, whatever snippets you want to make as startup snippets, just define inside a file. Regarding, just define inside a file, any file name, sir. So something like test.jsh. Any name you can use, no problem at all. Test.jsh. Here I am defining my own snippets. Int x is equal to 10. String s is equal to Durga. Okay, string s is equal to Durga. Like next public void m1. Okay, system.out.println hello, like this I am taking, sir. Okay, these snippets I save to a file. Now what I want to do, at the time of JShell startup, automatically can you please make these snippets are available? So I want to customize JShell startup. How you can able to do that? Very simple, sir. Just observe, sir, if you want to open JShell, if you want to log in JShell, what you are going to do, sir? From the command prompt, from the command prompt, you are going to use JShell-v. Correct, right? But if you want these things as startup snippets, very simple, sir. You have to use the command JShell-v. Okay, well, hyphen startup. Are you getting right? What is this one? Can you please read this one? Hyphen startup. Sir, which thing? What is the name of this file? Test.jsh. Remember, now instead of those bloody default startup snippets, now the snippets whatever there inside test.jsp by default will become startup snippets, right? Remember that. So where is the proof? For that? Just observe that. Let me go for a small chota example. Of course, let me define test.jsh. Okay, let me take, here I am taking int x is equal to 10. Regarding int x is equal to 10, I am taking. Next, string s is equal to Durga. Like this I am taking, sir. String s is equal to Durga. Next, public void m1 method I am taking. Public void m1 method. Now, system.out.println. Hello. Like this I am taking, sir. Okay, are you getting? Hello, like this. I'm taking. Okay, sir, that's all. These are the three. Let me save this code. Let me save this inside D colon Durga classes. Sir, test dot JSH. Can you please observe the name what I'm using? Test dot JSH. I'm using this name, sir. Okay, test dot JSH. Like this I'm using. Just let me save this code. Okay, that's all. Now let me close existing J shell. Are you getting? Just I'm closing this existing J shell, sir. Okay, have a look once. Let me open the command prompt. Let me open the command prompt. Okay, now here just observe what I'm taking. J shell hyphen v hyphen. Please guide. I forgot. What is the name? Can you please tell? I forgot. J shell hyphen v hyphen. What is that? Start up. Where your snippets are available? Test.jsh. Are you getting? Test.jsh. By default, welcome to J shell version 9. Like this, you are getting right. Now, let me cross check which snippets are there. Observe that no active snippets because those are startup snippets, right? Now, /list hyphen start. Oh, can you please display startup snippets? Now, observe that S1, S2, S3. Now, these things will become my startup snippet, but not import statements. Remember, so if you want to customize your own startup snippets, are you getting right? How you can able to do? We require to use hyphen startup. If you are open JShell like this, then automatically, if you are open like this, automatically, what is the problem by default we are going to get, sir? Make sure, sir, do you know whatever snippets are there by default available, startup snippets are not available. Are you getting? Default import statements, default startup snippets are not available. Sir, I want those startup snippets also, default startup snippets also. In addition to this, I want those default also. What you have to do? Yes, very simple. Open your J shell like this. J shell hyphen v hyphen startup. Now what you have to take? Default. Are you getting? What is the word? Can you spell out? Default. Default means, hey, I want to default startup snippets. In addition to that, this test.jsh also. Now, all the default startup snippets are there. Next, my own snippets also by default available. So, in addition to default startup snippets, if you want to make your own snippets also available, then we require to use hyphen startup like this. Any doubt? Okay, let me use this one. Observe that. Let me shut down. Let me exit from the J shell. Yes. Now let me open J shell again. J shell hyphen v hyphen startup. Next, what is the values are? Default. Are you getting what is the value? Default. Next, and after that, where it is available? Test.jsh. Observe that test.jsh. Now all the 13 snippets by default available. Sir, where is the proof for that? If you can ask /list, sir, from the file these three things are available. Correct. From the file these three things are available. If I can ask /list hyphen start, then automatically, do you know, all startup 10. So already 3 are available. Next, and after that, all the default startup is also by default available, right? So this is the way how to customize JShell startup with the default value. Any doubt? Up to this, any doubt? Are you getting? Sir, what is the difference between this command and this command? Forget about these lines. What is the difference between this command and this command? Here, only snippets available in test.jsh by default available. Default snippets won't come, sir. But if I can take a default like this, hyphen startup default snippets are available. My own snippets also available. Clear? Okay. Now I have one small doubt. What's my doubt is, because of default option, How many startup snippets are coming? Only 10. Only 10. 10 packages imported. Only 10. Sir, I don't want only 10. I want to use java.sql package. I want to use java.sql.rosette package. Like, do you know all Java standard edition package, all Java standard edition packages by default available with my JShell at the beginning only. I don't want to write single import statement also. Can you please total Java SE by default available, sir, to my JShell? Yes. Is it possible or not? Yes, possible. First default, how many snippets are coming? 10 snippets. Just have a look once. Just I'm trying to I'm trying to just close this one. Okay, let me open another command prompt. Next and after the D colon Durga classes. Here just observe that JShell -v. That's all. I'm not using any startup kind of thing. Okay, so that's all. What is the default? Like /list -start. These are the 10 packages. Can you please read which packages, right? IO package, math package, import java.io, java.math, java.net, java.nio.file, util package, util concurrent function, like this. These are the packages what we have. Like this, right? Sir, now I don't want only these 10. I want almost around 170 plus packages are there. I want all those things. How you can able to do that? This is about my requirement, right? Yes, very simple. What you can do is JShell -v -startup. -startup. Now you don't want default. You want all Java, sir. Java SE. This is the constant you have to use. Are you getting? What is these constants are? Java SE. Then all packages present inside Java SE by default available for my JShell. Remember that. Let me execute this code. Observe that. Let me exit JShell. Okay, well. Sir, can you please guide? JShell -v -startup -startup. What is the value, sir? Please guide. Java SE. It's going to take too much time because the reason is all the packages should be available, right? Taking too much time. Are you getting? Have you observed? It is not normal time because almost around 173 packages make it available. Is not that much easy. Yes, okay. Now let me cross check. /list I'm taking. Which things are there? Nothing is there. /list -start. Yes. Can you please observe total how many packages, right? 173 packages by default available because of this Java SE. Remember that, sir? Because of this Java SE constant, startup constant, 173 packages by default available. Remember. So this is if you want all Java SE packages, then you have to define startup like this Java SE. Remember that. Sir, if you are using Java SE, then default is not required because default 10 packages part of Java SE packages only. That's why whenever we are using Java SE, we are not required to use a default. One thing. Sir, not only Java SE packages, not only Java SE, I want my own coding snippets also which are there in my file. Yes, possible. What you have to take? JShell -v -startup Java SE and you can take test.jsh. Are you getting? Java -v -startup Java SE. Sir, I want all Java SE plus the snippets present inside test.jsh. These things also I want. How you can able to do that? Okay, this is the way. Now have a look once. Let me exit JShell. Let me start again. -v -startup Java SE. Next and after that test.jsh. Just make sure it's going to take too much time, I told already, because 173 packages make it available is not that much easy. Make sure. Yes, taking time. Making all 173 packages available to the J shell. Observe that. Yes, completed, right? Now let me list. If I use list, my file contain which snippets, by default I can able to get, sir. Observe that file contain 3. Next, if I use a list start of snippets, right, then 173 by default available. That's all. So how to customize J shell startup with the default option, with the Java SE option. Next, how I can make my own snippets, startup snippets. This is the story. Everyone can able to understand, right? Any explanation is required? Are you getting clearly? Now, I have one small doubt. Let me summarize so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? Observe carefully, sir. What is my requirement is, observe that. I'm taking, here listen very carefully, sir. I'm taking, sir, J shell -v. I'm using this command. What I'm doing? Just simply I launching J shell console with the default startup snippets. That's all. I'm not defining any my own snippets. Only startup snippets. 10 import statements are going to come. Okay. Now instead of this one, I'm taking J shell. I'm taking J shell -v startup startup. Now I'm taking default. Can you please tell first one, second one, any difference? No difference. Default imports already available in the first one. Even you specified explicitly, no extra things are going to come. Okay. So by default is already there. Next, both are same, equal. Now I'm taking J shell -v startup test.jsh. Now whatever snippets are there in the test.jsh, these snippets will be executed at the time of J shell startup. These snippets will become, sir, startup snippets. Default startup snippets won't come. If this file contain only 3, only those 3 are the startup snippets. Sir, this it won't default snippets. 10 import statements won't come. Sir, I want sir, default imports, default startup snippets under these test.jsh snippets also. If you want, how you can able to do? J shell -v startup. Sir, default, you can take default is the value under test.jsh. Default you can take, test.jsh you can take. Then what will happen is, yes, default snippets are available, and the snippets from the test.jsh also available. Now my question is, sir, I don't want only 10 default packages. I want all 173 packages present inside, sir, Java SE. I want all to my J shell. I don't want to write single import statement also. How you can able to do that? Okay, can you please guide? Yes, can you please guide? J shell -v startup startup. What is the constant I require to use, right? Java SE. Are you getting right? Sir, we require to use Java SE. Like, sir, Java SE we require to use. Sir, now my test.jsh snippets are not available. Only 173 packages imports by default available. Of course, in the default also by default there. Default things also by default there, sir. Now J shell -v startup Java SE required. In addition to that, sir, this test.jsh also required. Have you observed? Test.jsh also 173 packages plus my own snippets by default available. Remember, sir, these are things what you people should have clear clarity. You should be in a position to differentiate what is the difference between these things, right? I hope everyone can able to understand. Is it possible to customize JSL startup or not? You should have clear clarity about this. Thank you, sir. Sir, up to this we covered how to customize JSL startup with all packages from Java SE or my own snippets. Already we covered right in the last video. But now let me talk about, there is another beautiful shortcut is there, beautiful startup is there, printing option. What is that? Can you spell out, sir? Printing option. So if I use this one at the time of JSL startup, we are going to get a biggest advantage. What is that advantage is? Just observe. Sir, I am taking JSL -v. I want to launch JSL -v startup. What is the option we require to use? Can you spell out, sir? Printing. Okay. If I use like this, what is the biggest advantage by default we are going to get? Very simple, sir. If you want to print something to the console, usually what I am doing in Java, I want to print hello to the console. What I have to do? System dot, can you spell out? System dot out dot println or print of hello I have to take. I have to write like this. Do you know? If you use a printing option, we are not required to use this much line. Simply, you can use either print or println of hello. Observe that. So, now happily hello is going to be printed. We are not required to use system dot out dot println. Simply, we can use println of hello. Then immediately we ask, sir, what is happening? How this shortcut is available, right? Very simple. If you are using printing option, JSL is going to provide, sir, 20 or almost around 20 plus print and println methods. JSL is going to provide print and println methods. Sir, now if you are taking print of hello, now print string is going to execute. Print of string. Internally, this print of string, how it is implemented is, internally it is going to call system dot out dot println of yes. Are you getting? So this is system dot out dot println. So internally called. So for that, what they did is, a shortcut is nothing but print of yes. Whenever we are calling print of hello, internally, of course, here print of hello, system dot out dot println of hello will be executed. So it is easy to the programmer. We are not required to write system dot out dot println. Just you can use print. Of course, calling system dot out dot println will take care automatically by the JSL because of this printing option. What it means? Let me show practically so that you may get much clarity. Observe that. Observe a bit carefully, sir. Now I am taking JSL -v. That's all. No startup kind of thing. Then what will happen? /list. Nothing is there. /list -start. What startup snippets are there? Like these are the normal import. 10 import startup snippets, right? Let me exit. Let me start JSL again. -v. This time startup. What is the option? Printing. Are you getting that? Printing option I am using, sir. Now observe. Please observe a bit very carefully, sir. Now what will happen? Sir? Now here if I can ask /list, /list -start. Then startup snippet. 21 startup snippets by default came, sir. Yes, 21 startup snippets are there. So what these things? Void of print of boolean. If a print of boolean, what internally is doing? SOP of B. So system dot out dot println of B. Oh, this system.out.println of B is wrapped with the print of boolean. Are you getting? Whenever you call print of boolean, internally SOP of B is going to be executed. Same print of char, same like print method, println of string. Are you getting? Internally SOP of S by default will be called. Because of these starting snippets, the biggest advantage what we are going to get is, now observe that, sir, I'm taking print of hello. Print of hello will be printed to the console. Are you getting? Println of true will be printed to the console. I am not using system.out.println because, sir, whenever we are calling println of true, internally println of boolean is going to execute, which is internally calls SOP of B only. That's why the output by default we are going to get true, sir. So the biggest advantage what you are going to get because of printing option. If you want to print something, usually we should write system.out.println, but if you use printing option at the time of JSL startup, directly you can use print or println methods. We are not required to use system.out.println. Everyone can able to understand internally what thing is happening like. Sir, all these things I provided in the material, just I will show that. But before that, one important point you should aware. Sir, if you are using printing option, then only overloaded print and println methods are available, but default imports are not available. If you want default imports also, then you can provide default. Are you getting? You can want default. If you don't want default, then if you want Java SE, yes, you can specify Java SE. So in addition to that, my own snippets also, then you have to specify your file test.jsh. So remaining things are always same. There is no extra thing. Only extra thing is nothing but printing. That is what you have to aware. Remember. Now, sir, total how many values are allowed for the startup? Can you spell out, sir? What values are by default allowed for the startup? One is default is allowed. One is default is allowed. Second one is, okay, Java SE is allowed. Are you getting? What is the second one, sir? Java SE is allowed. Okay. Third one, sir, printing. Are you getting? Printing is also allowed like this. These are allowed values for JSL startup. To customize JSL startup, these options are there. I hope you can able to understand each and everything what we have. Let me show the material so that you people can feel more comfortable. Have a look once, sir. Have a look once. Sir, all the things by default. How to customize. Are you getting? How to customize JSL startup. By default, the following snippets will be executed at the time of JSL startup. Are you getting that? So, like this, sir. Sir, what is the my startup.jsh like this I am taking. So, if you want to default, you can able to use. Sir, -v startup Java SE. What will happen, sir? Almost around 123 packages by default available. 123 packages by default available, right? Sir, just have you observed? I explained very clearly, sir, what is the difference between all these things. What is the difference between all these things? I explained very clearly. Next, what is the need of print option? Very, very important. Usually, we can use system.out.print or system.out.println methods to print some statements to the console. If you use printing option, then several overloaded print and println methods will be provided at the time of startup, and these internally called system.out.print and system.out.println methods. So, several overloaded print and println methods are provided, which internally calls system.out.println, system.out.println methods only. Hence, to print statements to the console, just we can use print or println methods directly instead of using system.out.print or system.out.println methods. Remember that, okay? Sir, that's all. This is JSL -v startup printing. Sir, these are 21. These are 21 overloaded methods by default available, sir. Now onwards to print some statements to the console, directly we can use printer, println methods, sir. Sir, printf hello, printf 10.5, like this, right? Sir, have you observed total 21 overloaded print and println and printf methods are because of printing shortcut. Whenever we are using printing shortcut, default imports won't come. Hence, if you want, you have to pass default and printing simultaneously. Next, various allowed values for startup are: one is the default, second one is the Java SE, third one is the printing. Clear for all of you, right? Now I hope you people in a position to know how to customize JShell startup with our own snippets or with our required imports or with our printing shortcut option. Clear? Any doubt? Hello friends, welcome back. In the last videos we covered about how to add jar file to the JShell. Next and after that how to customize the JShell startup. I hope you people are able to understand clearly, right? So now the next thing what I have to discuss. So do you know, if you are working on IDEs, especially Eclipse in our Java environment, the most commonly used IDE, Eclipse, IntelliJ and so on. There are several shortcuts are there. Auto completion commands also there. We are not required, sir, we are not required to type total method. If you are going to use control space, control 1, automatically the required things will be performed, right? Regarding my IDE itself is going to provide support. Sir, do you have such type of any shortcut or auto completion commands possible in the case of JShell or not? Like you people may ask, yes, there are some shortcuts are available, right? Even in the JShell also. If you want to know all shortcuts, what you have to do, just type in the JShell console /help shortcuts. Regarding just you can use this command /help shortcuts, then automatically you can get all possible shortcuts related to the JShell. Remember, yes, auto completion commands are there, shortcut commands are available, right? Few things we are going to discuss at the part of this video. Don't worry, just have a look once, sir. Observe that a bit very carefully. Here just here just let me open the JShell. Let me go to the command prompt. Here just have a look once. Sir, I want to open JShell-v. Okay, JShell is ready, sir. Now my question is, yes, observe /help shortcuts like this, right? Then automatically, do you know, there are several shortcuts are available. Supported shortcuts include tab. It's a very common, sir. The big mantra in the JShell is the tab shortcut. Next, shift tab V. What is the purpose I'm going to use? I will explain. Don't worry about that. Shift tab I. What is the purpose and so on? I will explain. Don't worry, sir. There are several. These are various shortcuts. Whatever available, right? Okay. Remember, if you want to know the shortcuts available in the JShell, just /help shortcuts like this you have to type. Sir, now the first shortcut I'm ready to explain. Sir, variable declaration for auto completion. I want to auto complete the variable declaration. Assume that, sir, suppose I want to declare a string variable. Yes, sir. I want to declare a string variable. Yes, sir. Yes, I have to declare. Here I'm taking in the JShell. How you can able to write, sir? Can you please observe that? Can you please observe string S is equal to Durga. String S is equal to Durga. Like this we are going to do. But now my requirement here is, sir, you are not required to type total. You are not required to type total, sir. Just in the JShell, just take a bit very special care. In the JShell, type the value. Type the value. Yes, you type it the value. And then shift, sir, what is the shift? Sir, tab. Just observe, what is the shift tab? Just sir, press these two, release. After releasing, immediately, can you please type V? Regarding first shift tab, shift tab, release, immediately, can you please type V. So V for variable creation, remember that. Then immediately what it's going to do is, was it the string value, right? String is equal to Durga, like this it is going to provide. Then what your job is, you have to specify only name. Regarding, you have to specify only name. Yes, how beautifully these shortcuts are. You require to shift tab followed by V, shift tab followed by V, variable creation. Just spell out the value, provide the value, automatically sir complete variable declaration line by default will be there. Just observe, suppose I want to declare one int variable, right? I want to declare one int variable. Sir, int I, this is about my requirement, right? Int I is equal to 10 is my requirement. You are not required to type total. What you can do, just type 10, and then shift plus tab. Sir, after shift tab, release, immediately, can you please followed by V keyword, shift tab followed by V, then automatically sir variable will be created. Now how the syntax will be there, int is equal to 10. Now your job is, you have to give the name for the variable. It may be X or it may be I based on your requirement. So the first shortcut what you people should aware are variable creation. Everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, variable creation. What is the shortcut? Shift tab followed by V. Just I will show so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? Observe that. Observe a bit very carefully, sir. Here my requirement is 10 I am taking. Just my requirement is 10 I am taking, sir. Here just I have 10. Now what you have to take, can you spell out what is the shortcuts are? Shift tab followed by V. Now I am ready to press right. Shift tab, release, V. Are you getting? Just I'm taking some time. After shift tab, I'm taking some time. Immediately you require to type V, sir. Shift tab, release, V. Are you getting? Release V. Immediate int. Now I value I have to take. Are you getting? Now int I is equal to 10. Happily the variable got created, right? Sir, similarly, if I can take sir string type variable, Durga. Can you please tell what is the shortcut, sir? Shift tab, immediately. Have you observed? I'm taking a bit more time. Immediately you require to take. Have you observed? Immediately you require to press sir V. Now string S is equal to Durga. Regarding string S is equal to Durga, by default is going to be there, sir. I hope, is it clear? So the first command here is what you people should be aware, sir. Shift tab V for variable creation. Remember that. But 2 times or 3 times if you are going to use, then you are going to habitize, no problem at all. This is the first command, right? Okay. Sir, similarly, there is one more shortcut is there, sir. Auto completion of import statement. Sir, we are using some whenever in the IDEs, especially Eclipse or NetBeans and so on, whenever we are using some class, automatically IDE is going to provide some suggestions. So this class, do you want to keep import statement and so on? Like that, even in the JShell also, you have such a type of shortcut is there, sir. What is that shortcut? Okay, very simple, sir. Auto completion of import statements. Regarding what is the second one, sir? Auto completion of import statements, right? Import statements, auto completion, right? What we have to do? Very simple, sir. Suppose in the JShell, I'm taking connection. Actually, connection is available in which package? Java.sql package. Okay, but default import is not there for SQL package. For IO it is there, utility is there, but connection SQL package. I don't want to import. I don't want to write import statement explicitly. Can you please write Java.sql import statement automatically? This is about my requirement, right? How you can able to do that? Sir, very simple. Shift tab, immediately release and then I. Are you getting? Shift tab I. I means import. V means variable creation. Are you getting right? I means import statement. Then immediately, sir, import java.sql connection by default will be created internally. If multiple packages having that, then immediately it is going to ask, sir, which connection you want, which connection from which package you want the connection. Like it's going to ask, we should be in a position to select that, no problem at all. Sir, how you can use? What is the shortcut, sir? Can you please tell? Shift tab I. This is the shortcut, right? Sir, observe. Have a look once. Sir, let me cross check which import statements are there with me. Sir, /import, then automatically these are the import statements, right? I'm not seeing anywhere SQL. I'm not seeing anywhere SQL, right? Okay. Sir, I'm not seeing anywhere. What I'm taking? Sir, here connection. Okay, connection I'm taking. Then immediately, sir, I want to keep import statement like this. Sir, shift tab I. Are you getting that? Shift tab I. Sir, shift tab I. Immediately. Have you observed, right? Immediately. 0 means do nothing. 1 means import com.mysql jdbc.connection. Import com.sun.gda.connect.spy connection. Like this, it's asking, sir, what you have to take? java.sql.connection. 3, then automatically import statement already generated, right? Connection con is equal to null. I'm taking, sir. Perfectly the valid line. Now let me cross check. Now import statements, is it really generated or not? Yes, man. Now observe. Last import statement automatically got generated. Are you getting? This shortcut is nothing but auto import. Are you getting? Auto variable creation, auto import. Clear? Sir, what are the two shortcuts we have? Sir, shift. Can you please tell what is the shortcut? Shift plus a tab, followed by V. This is for variable creation. Next, shift tab I. This is for auto import. Clear up to this? These are the two shortcuts what you have to aware first. Okay, that's all. I hope it's very clear how to create variables. Next, how to create the auto import statement. Shift tab V for variable creation. Shift tab I for import statement, right? Up to this is the clear. Now, what is the next things? Some more things are available, right? Sir, I have one class, math class is there. In math class, how many static members are there? What are various available static members? I want to know. Our string class is there. What are various available static members? I want to know. Then what is the way, sir? Very simple. If you want, sir, specify class name dot just type tab. Are you getting? Here in JShell, the most powerful mantra is nothing but tab keyword, right? Remember that. Sir, class name dot tab. In this class, all static members by default you can able to see, sir. So that based on your requirement, you can choose. Are you getting right? Have a look once. Suppose I want to know math dot tab. Math.tab. Immediately it is telling, sir, in the math class, sir, E is there. Sir, these are pi constant is there, E constant is there, ABS method is there, floor method is there, square root log method is there, sine method is there, square root method is there. Like all static members by default you can able to get. Suppose SQ, I'm taking, sir. Again tab. Sir, how many methods are going to match? Only one method. It's going to get. Sir, here only one method. Sir, up to that auto completion tab itself is nothing but some 4 I'm taking, then automatical 2.0 by default you are going to get. Just observe that. So class name, suppose string class, which static members are there? Class name dot string dot just a tab. Then automatically in string class only this constant is available, case insensitive order, class variable is available, copy value format, join, and then value of. These are the only static methods present inside string class, right? Okay, remember that. Similarly, okay, this is just if you want to know static members of a class, what you require to do, sir? Class name dot tab. Sir, I don't want static members. I want instance members, object on the object, which methods you can able to call. Very simple, sir. Very simple. Sir, object reference. Sir, create some object reference you have, dot followed by tab. Are you getting? Dot followed by tab, you can able to do that, okay? Object reference dot tab, we have to do that. Then all possible, all applicable instance members are related to this object, by default we can able to get. Best example, sir, have a look once. Sir, I'm taking string S is equal to Durga, like this I'm taking, sir. Just observe, one S variable is there. Now S dot, it is the object reference dot, just a tab. Oh, all these things you can able to use, man. All these things you can able to use. S dot, these many instance variables are there. Suppose I'm taking len, then automatically it's going to tell only one match is there. Tab, every time tab, sir. Then S dot length is nothing but 5. Are you getting? S dot length, Durga, what is the number of characters present inside Durga is nothing but 5, like. So if you want to know all instance members, what is the shortcut we require to use, right? Object reference dot tab. Remember that. Sir, similarly, sir, my requirement is, I know one method. In the math class, square root method is there, sir. But I don't know, sir, what is the return type, complete signature of that method. I don't know that. I don't know. If you want to know that, what you have to take, sir, if it is the static method, okay, class name dot method name, class name dot method name, and then just type tab. Are you getting? Class name dot method name, bracket open, just type tab. Now it is going to tell this method can take which argument, this method can return which value. Sir, you can able to see signature. If you want a complete documentation, press a tab again. Now just I will show. If it is the static method, sir. If it is instance method, what I have to take? Object reference dot method name, because instance methods you can able to call by using object reference, static methods you can able to call by using class name. That's why, okay, off tab. Are you getting? Off tab you can able to take. If I can take like this, now related to this instance method, what argument it is expecting, what is the return type, by default we can able to get. Is it clear, right? Let me cross check. In math class, I want to aware square root function signature. Very simple. Just observe math dot square root of just a tab. That's all. Then immediately it is telling that double math dot square root of double. So it is taken double as the argument. And the return type is nothing but double, sir. Return type is the double. Now it is telling press tab again to see the documentation. Yes, tab again. Then immediately it's going to tell complete documentation, sir. It returns the correctly rounded positive square root of double value. So something like complete documentation, by default you are going to get. Remember that. Similarly, here just observe that I have one variable string S1 is equal to Ravi is there, sir. Okay, S1 is there. Now on S1 length method you can able to call, sir. Length method you can. I don't know what is the return type of this. What it's going to take, what argument it's going to take, I don't know that. Then just a tab, then automatically it's going to tell, yes, this method won't take any argument. The return type is nothing but int. Sir, press a tab again to see the documentation. press a tab again to see the documentation, then immediately returns length of this string. The length is equal to number of Unicode code units present in the string. Something like returns the sequence of characters represented by, okay, like, sir, clear documentation by default you are going to get. That's why in JShell better to habitize to use one keyword, especially one key is always, what is that key, sir? Tab. Always going to provide auto completion of commands, suggestions, everything you can able to get with the tab. Press a tab. Okay, that's all. Next, sir, this shortcut not only applicable for predefined methods, even for our own methods also. If you want, you can apply, no problem at all. Suppose M1 method is there, sir. M1 method I want to declare. Sir, what is the signature of M1? What is the signature of M1? I want to aware. Just observe that. Have a look once. I have M1 I'm taking, sir. Public, double, public, double. M1 method I'm taking int A, comma, int B I'm taking just return some 10.0 like this I'm taking, sir. This is my method. This is the method created. M1 is there, sir. Now my requirement is, I don't know what is the signature of M1. M1 bracket open tab. M1 bracket open tab. Are you seeing, right? Are you seeing double M1 of int A int B? This is the signature of this method. So the shortcuts commands are applicable even for our own classes, for our own methods also. Clear, right? These are the things what you people should aware about the JShell shortcut commands. But anyway, overall conclusion is better to keep on using tab symbol. Then you will get several auto completion commands, suggestions by default you can able to get. Clear, right? Sir, can you please let me review? Shift tab. Okay, this is shift tab space or shift tab I for import. Shift tab V for variable creation. Next, class name dot tab. Then to get all static members of a class, to get all instance members of a class, object reference dot tab. To get a signature and documentation of a method, class name dot method name, sir, object reference dot method name followed by tab. That's all, friends. These are the things what you people should aware if you want to know auto completion commands, right? But all these things I clearly documented, no problem at all. Just go through that, so that you go through that and practice multiple times, then automatically habitize these shortcuts. Just have a look once. Sir, observe a bit carefully. Shortcuts and auto completion of commands. Shortcut for creating variables, right? Just type the value and then shift tab followed by V. Then shortcut for creating variables. What is that? Shift tab followed by V. Next, shortcut for auto import. What is the shortcut? Shift tab followed by I. I means auto import, right? Okay, like. Next, and after that, sir, to get all static members of a class name dot tab. Similarly, to get all instance member, object reference dot tab. Yes, dot tab, something like. Next, to get signature and documentation of a method, class name dot method name followed by tab. Sir, or object reference method name followed by tab. Then automatically you can able to get signatures of the substring method, signatures of the methods, and so on. Next, this concept is applicable, even this tab shortcut applicable for our own classes and methods also. Okay, like this. For M1 method I can able to apply what is the signature of this method, like this you people can aware. That's all, friends. These are various shortcut commands what you people should aware. Up to this, any doubt? Are you able to understand? That's all, friends.